Okay, and here we are back, Mindset Squared, and we have two special guests today, Vito Glazers and Ron Jeremy.
You didn't say his name right. See, me, you could say Ron Jeremy, Ron asshole. It's okay, but his Vito. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
you can't say
Vito.
You can't say Vito without smiling. You know what's his name? Bob. That's
Vito.
nice. What's his
Well,
name?
it makes
John.
it
What's his
sounds
name?
like
Vito.
almost like a pizza place or something. Vito.
Oh, great.
Oh, we got him playing now.
C'è la luna, mezza mano, mamma mia, mamma tare. Everybody, go fuck yourselves. Wait, what? No, what's your ethnic? What are you?
We're Irish.
Oh, I love that. Danny boy. You know,
Yeah.
oh, Danny boy. You got to be crying or you're not Irish.
I'm crying. Yeah.
Here comes the good part.
It's breaking my heart.
There you go. See,
Nice. I
this
like
weed's
it.
already broken. I haven't even used them.
Wow.
Already?
Very impressive.
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
thank you.
So
Anybody else got any ethnics? What's your ethnic?
What do you
Oh,
think?
we got your Italian. You're the Irish. Anybody out there? The cameraman.
what are
what's
you,
it?
Ron?
What am I? Okay, we
Yeah.
can guess it. Okay.
I think this might be the best episode we've ever had.
Ron brings the heat, man.
He does.
Let's have an Aguila. Okay, good.
That's impressive.
Because I'm a Jew. Okay, that's all right. You know, you can
There
tell.
it is.
You know, you can tell that I'm Jewish.
Do tell.
I took a dollar bill out of my pocket,
Yes.
and the president on the dollar bill is going, "Oh, daylight, son of a gun." They're making a Jewish sequel to the movie Jaws. They're calling it Jews. It's about a loan shark. Come on, guys, this is hot stuff.
What's
here.
the VIG on that? So Ron, all right. So you transitioned from movies to stand-up. Is that what you're doing?
I did a
now?
little comedy back when I was in the Catskill Mountains.
Okay.
That's where Lenny Bruce, Jerry Lewis, Jackie Gale, Jackie Mason, a lot of Jewish comedians got started.
Sure.
In the Catskills, Grossinger's Hotel, Concord Hotel,
Okay.
the Pines, the Raleigh. So I was a waiter at the time. I was actually at Woodstock for half an hour. You know, I was 16 years old, and it was in the White Lake, Bethel area, Max the Asger's farm.
Sure.
So I was there. So when I was working as a waiter, and then later maitre d', a captain. And that's what a lot of guys did to go up to the Catskills. You know,
Well, how were you as a waiter?
I was 16 years old. I got working papers to
Yeah.
work when you're underage. You got 18 is what.
Were you a good waiter though?
I was a dumb waiter. That's it's a little thing that translates. Okay. No, I was actually very.
I set that one up for you, right?
You did good. Thank you.
Yeah.
We're working together from now on.
Right.
No, I was a really good waiter.
Okay.
You know, I used to joke around.
So you got good memory.
Well, it's funny. I used to goof around with my guests. I was nuts even then. I hadn't done adult yet. I was in college,
Okay.
becoming a school teacher. I worked as a waiter, and this is no joke, in the Catskills. And they even say on the website, which I think is Catskills, a Paradise Lost. They mentioned that me and Dice Clay both worked there. Dice was a drummer at the Del Mar Hotel. I was a waiter, a maitre d' and stuff. So we all had our various jobs, you know. But
And so you knew Dice.
but not really until years later back in Hollywood. you know.
Okay.
Yeah. But
And he's transitioned into acting. So he was doing stand-up. Now he's doing acting.
I did stand up with those guys, Mousy Lawrence, Sal Richards, and Rodney Dangerfield, Henny Youngman. And then I transferred to New York to go to school, get my degree and my master's in special ed.
Oh, wow.
teaching. I did it so many years ago that they didn't even call it autism.
Okay.
They called it childhood schizophrenia. That term they used in 1978. You know, I was teaching
Wow.
for a year and a half, and then I, went up to the Catskills again for the festival, and then and worked as a waiter, and then came back to New York. So I was going back and forth.
Okay. And then you got into making movies.
Yeah, and it was something I never would have known or guessed.
Right.
I would have done adult films. I got my bachelor's in theater, bachelor's in elementary education, master's special ed.
Okay.
You know, and it was a nice life. You know, I'd hang glide. I taught hang gliding. You know, upstate
Okay.
New York. There's pictures in my autobiography which was a New York Times bestseller. Did I say it was a bestseller?
Of course
Okay.
it was. It was huge.
A New York Times bestseller.
What's the name of your book, Ron?
It's kind of funny.
Yeah, what's the name of the book?
Hardest Man in Showbiz. You get it? Hardest
I
working
want to say
man
I'm
in showbiz.
surprised, but I'm
So
not.
I was doing sailing, working as a waiter.
Okay.
Hang gliding on the hills of Grossingers and Pines. It was just a great life.
Okay.
Skiing. I was a ski instructor.
So what brought you?
At Avon Hotel, I used to jump over little mountains. There's pictures in my book of me jumping over mountains.
Well, you covered some
People
ground.
say he's not
So-
going to jump over a mountain.
Restaurant business, a little bit of acting,
Yeah.
ski instructor, and then you headed
And
west.
regular teacher. What?
And then you headed west to California.
Yes.
Okay.
That kind of you got it pretty much the right. Yeah.
Okay.
Because I wasn't really fine tuned for Broadway.
Yeah.
I got into Equity. I got into the Union, and a lot of actors were not in Equity, so I was okay for stage. But the best stuff on Broadway is usually singing and dancing.
Yeah.
And I really wasn't good at that. I did a rap song years later,
Mm-hmm.
which did good. But then I went to L.A. and started working more in adult.
Okay.
Playgirl magazine came first.
I see.
Yeah, it was and then that 1978 June, John Ritter. This might be kind of weird, if you think about it. John Ritter was on the cover of the Playgirl that I was in.
That is a little weird when I think about it.
October,
Yeah.
1978. was
John
the issue
Ritter
that
on the cover.
He was
Wow.
not nude. He was just a little bit,
Okay.
sexy. His show is now a huge hit.
All right.
And now, fast forward about 30 years, me and him are both sitting in two different hospitals, almost at the same time. He's at the Kaiser. I'm at New York University or Cedars-Sinai.
Sure.
We both had the same exact thing, which was an aortic dissection, where you get an aneurysm in your artery. The only difference was he didn't make it and I did. His surgeon put him under observation. You don't put someone under observation with a busted, aorta, because it's not going to sit still for you. So I was only about a mile away, so I was lucky. CNN made a joke and said, Ron Jeremy's a real badass. He drove himself to the hospital. I didn't wait for the ambulance. My grandma told me, everyone needs a Jewish grandmother. If you feel the pressure on your chest, like an elephant is sitting on you,
Yeah.
that's a problem.
Yeah.
Because you get all kinds of pains in your chest, but when it's that thing
Well, you're
like-
better to go and get it checked out. Than
Either way,
not.
of course.
Yeah.
So I went right to the hospital because I said, this is not good. I went there, Amir Shaw, great doctor, said,
Okay.
I said, we doing observation?
Mm-hmm.
He goes, no observation for you, Ron. Oh, no. Am I going right to surgery? Do I get a second opinion? Yes, you're also an asshole. No, I'm kidding. That's an old joke. I threw that right in there,
Very nice.
I see an
well,
opening.
This is why
up
your
there.
stand-up routine's going so well.
Yeah, I make jokes about aortic dissections.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Those are winners.
That's the secret to
yeah.
making it in
And
comedy in
Jerry-
Hollywood now.
And Jerry Buss.
And Vito Glazer says that's the secret sauce.
And Jerry Buss,
Yeah.
owner of the Lakers.
Okay.
He also came to the hospital like after me and John Ritter. John's in the Kaiser. Me and owner of the Lakers.
Okay.
Are there.
Now wait a second. With this John Ritter thing, let's back up to that. So he's on the front cover of
Playgirl
Playgirl,
magazine.
and you're
Nine-
inside.
nine-
the
What year was
magazine.
that, Ron?
And
What
I
year?
was-
78.
It was in October '78, and it was a thing called the Guy Next Door section.
Okay.
So and John Ritter had a little feature.
And you were the guy next door, or?
I was me and a couple guys were the guys next door.
Okay.
Playgirl has since sold that one for a lot more money. I'm
Yeah.
kind of flattered,
Right.
It gets special,
Yeah.
Look, my dick has more value than Bob. Look, see.
Well, so
Or Vito.
Vito.
Every chance I get.
So wait. So how do you know Vito? How do you know my friend Vito?
Why don't you tell him, Ron? Where'd we meet?
You sure?
Yeah.
I should tell him?
You can.
All right,
I want to hear
I'll
your
tell him.
version
All
of
right,
the
I'll
story.
tell him. We were both, on the 405. You told me you want me to say
I
it.
do a lot of hitchhiking.
So I
That's-
was-
Yeah,
I was-
when the
I was the one-
Maserati's broken, he's just doing the hitchhiking.
So I pulled over on my what's the one I have? I forgot what the car I have.
you got a Saturn Ion,
Thank you.
I think. Yeah.
So my Saturn Ion picks up his broken
Ferrari, Maserati,
you.
whatever.
Yep.
Yeah.
and so
Car of the
and
week.
so and I said, listen, I have not been with a rich man in my entire life. He goes, really? Yeah. So can you lie down over there and let's have some sex? He said, sure. I told you I didn't want to say it, but he told me he coaxed it out of me.
Wow.
So we played a
He
game of
coaxed it out of you.
So we played a game. We played hide the bacon, shoot the sherbet, drain the main veins, squeeze the weasel, and spank the monkey. In half an hour.
I can feel us getting banned as you talk.
Yeah, this happens in radio sometimes. So we actually met through the Mancow show. I believe it was where we met originally.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
I knew him way back when he was competing with Howard Stern.
Oh,
'Cause
okay.
he held on to Chicago. You got to give him credit. Howard took over every major city.
So you
Except
guys,
he
so you
couldn't
and
beat- he
Vito,
couldn't beat,
you and Vito met in Chicago.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
so you go way back.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I think he also at that time Mancow was doing radio on college radio. Mm-hmm. You know, it's funny because he wasn't an established big guy, but
Yeah.
he competed with Howard really hard. Howard had his assistant named Robin Quivers.
Oh, sure, I remember
Mancow
that.
had a girl named I think was her name.
he had Irma.
Yeah.
Right, the big
Wow,
green-
good for you.
What do you mean
He had
good for me?
Irma. He had a real heavyset guy. I forgot his name.
Al Roker Jr.
And then
No, and Turd.
And then Howard had right.
Yeah.
And then Howard had his guy. So they were doing similar stuff. Howard, but Howard did not gain Chicago.
Okay.
Which is amazing. I mean, unless I'm wrong, Mancow held on to Chicago. Every
he's
other
still on.
city caved in to Howard Stern.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay,
that's,
so
that's the
let's-
story of you and Mancow. But you and me met through the Mancow show. Actually, it might have been your agent trying to get you on Mancow for something, and I was working with Mancow at the time.
Maybe.
And then it kind of came up, and Dante, your manager, mentioned to me. He said, "Hey, Ron's really killing it in stand-up. We should do a stand-up comedy special." Because I was pitching projects for Netflix and Showtime and doing a couple different projects at the time.
Yeah.
And he said, "Why don't you do 60 minutes of stand-up, a 60-minute stand-up special for Ron?" And that's why I ended up.
Which
following
means I
Ron.
only do like 25, 30 minutes. Yeah, with opening acts,
And nobody's
People
ever
hear
seen
this
your-
on the phone going, an hour, the same comic? I think I'm going to go kill myself.
So his manager Dante basically set us up, and originally it was supposed to be just for stand-up comedy, and we set up that show for you at the Pink Monkey in Chicago. It was like 2-3 years
What
ago.
we use
now.
it for now is, what's that thing where you tell someone, hey, Bob, you're not going to get married because she thinks you're an idiot. When you make funny messages to people.
Oh, the cameos.
Yes.
Yep.
Now we're doing great with cameos. They're really doing well.
The cameo thing's interesting.
They're
okay?
doing well.
Hey,
They're
let's-
killing it.
Yeah, let's talk about that
Yeah.
because I actually think Cameo is a fantastic. I don't know. I don't
I
wanna
was
call,
doing that years before.
Well, I don't want to call it technology.
'Cause
Okay.
I was doing that way back, and just because people would hire me to.
But it's a great
to-
idea. I mean, what a killer app.
Yeah.
It's really cool. I mean, and there's all kinds of folks on there. I mean, there's people on there I never heard of.
I do weddings, bar mitzvahs.
Right. But then there's there's icons on there, like
Isn't
Ron.
Leonardo-
There's Charlie Sheen.
Yeah, Charlie just got on there.
Isn't Leonardo DiCaprio doing it?
They do them for charity once in a
Leonardo
while. There's
Yeah,
different
yeah, and
bits
then
on there.
yeah.
I do it for charity also.
Okay, so
my
for-
pocket. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Right. But let me explain this. Okay, so a lot of people don't know what it is yet because it's kind of hot and new, right? But Cameo.
Well, thanks to you, people are going to know what it is now.
Now they're gonna know. So Cameo, and by the way, it's not like sponsor. We just stumbled over this.
It should be.
So Cameo is a website. You can go to the website. I don't know if it's actually cameo.com
think
or
it is,
what
yeah.
it is. Okay, so let's say it is. I'm not going to tell you to go there because that might be something else. But there's a website.
I'll say it. Go there. We need to make the money.
Yeah, well, I'm saying I don't know if cameo.com is actually the website. Is
look
that
it up.
actually the website?
look
I don't
it
know.
up.
Vito's going to check for us while I'm pontificating. But here's the thing: you go there and you can buy a 10 or 15 second clip. Am I right? It's 10 seconds.
Yes. Well, it's give or take,
It's up to you,
I
right?
add on the harmonica usually. If it's a birthday, I'll
Okay.
say, let's take it out with a birthday.
So let's say
or a wedding or a funeral.
Yeah.
This is
So
a
let's
popular-
say,
most popular one we have. Please would take your hats off, put the flag at half mast. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And we do the one where, let's say, a girl's waiting for her boyfriend
Uh-huh.
to have an orgasm. And or how about a guy dying on his harmonica?
Okay, so here's the thing. I never even finished explaining this. So you go on there, you find a celebrity that you like. Say you're a huge fan of Ron Jeremy.
It happens.
It does. It does happen. And so my podcast co-host, his birthday is coming up soon. Okay, so I'm going to send him a birthday greeting. You'll actually record it
To his name.
and you'll say, "Hey, Mike, happy birthday from Ron Jeremy, right? And then you explain, or you say whatever. You got to have like a mini script. Am I right?
Yes, and we go over. He'll tell me, well, this guy's name is Joseph. He just did great on his job. His boss wants to thank him for a job well done.
Yeah.
So he'll tell me the basics. And if it's really a long one was almost in Arabic. Some of it had like foreign languages.
Wow.
So then I'll enlist the aid of Dante. I'll say, Dante, hey, my cameraman, what is it? Just to add on to it.
Wow.
If it's too long or we don't break it down into separate segments. I don't use cue cards.
Yeah.
Because then it looks silly. I'd be like Johnny Carson. Look, you go left to right.
Right.
It's all memorized. So if
Okay.
it's too much, I'll say, I'm going to ask you at some point about a few additional
Now,
people.
this has got to be a great little moneymaker for you, huh?
It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Okay. And so, do you just sit down and do like?
I got to give it all to him for the gas for his car.
Yeah, that thing does drink a lot of gas.
so
It's all good.
Does it? I mean, you do like 10 of them at a time, or
No,
what?
we'll do like two or
Okay,
three.
and then you just send them off, and boom, it's gone.
Ron, tell him about that one that you got. It was a guy that was about to join a gang, and his family actually pulled their money together to buy a cameo from you to ask to make a video to discourage him from joining the gang. Do you remember when we did that one? And
Discouraging which game? Would you remember?
I forgot what gang he was going to join, but basically his family members got together and said,
Wow.
"Ron, this guy really looks up to you, and he's about to join a gang. And could you
a
please
gang.
a gang? Yeah, not a gang bang like the kinds you're used to. This is one that is like a." But
Now you know I crack the jokes and he drives the fancy car.
so remember that they pulled their money together and they bought the cameo and they said, Ron, please make a video to tell our son or our nephew or whoever
To
our family
dissuade
member
him from
to
becoming a
dissuade him.
bad man.
And he
That-
actually
that's
didn't
not-
join the gang because of that. Dante,
didn't
yeah,
join
no,
the gang?
he did not. He did not.
That's a great,
Yeah.
great, good. That's a great feeling. That goes way beyond making money.
Yeah.
I might have saved a good chunk of society there.
There you
Who
go.
would have done some very bad things.
I thought that was a unique story because it was an
It's a
interesting
great
way
story.
that-
Why don't I remember it?
Maybe Dante never told you about it. Well, there you go. I just told you something.
Wow.
Maybe I wasn't sure what it was being used
But
for.
you remember the cameo though. We were shooting it. We were in Orange County.
Yeah.
You had just done the show in Huntington, and
That's nice.
we knocked a couple out. And the family followed up later and said because of the video, their family member decided not to join the game because of the video from you. So
I
Cameo's
look
changing
at
the world.
Vito's like the ultimate connector, right? I mean, he connects people. He's a network guy, right? Did he?
Well, name like Vito. What choice does he have?
That's right. I mean, it's either that or he's making pizzas or something.
yeah, or
I don't
putting
know.
people in the trunk for making
Vito.
pizza jokes.
Vito.
Yep.
Yeah. I grew up. There's a pizza place close by called Vito.
Do you
so
speak Italian? I speak the greatest Italian. I was all over Italy. I shot a lot of films there with Rocco and Cicciolina and I shot a Riccione.
What kind of films were
Rimini,
these?
X-rated.
Oh, okay.
I shot all over Italy. I did.
Yeah.
And they told me what every Italian man likes. Those watching this right now who speak Italian are going to laugh their asses off. But what every Italian man likes is a little buono vino, mangia bene, acqua fresca, fica stretta, fica porto cazzaduro. Now, people are going to be calling in hopefully and going, do you know what he just fucking said? We'll see who out there speaks fluent Italian.
All right. Well, we'll find out, I guess, in the comments once this is posted. All right. So, Vito, did he hook you up with Cameo? Is that how you found out about it, or?
How did it was you and
I think Dante
right?
actually had it already set up, but I was one of the first people. I think I personally was myself one of the first people on Cameo. a long
No
time ago.
kidding.
Yeah, and they're a group of guys from Chicago who started it. I'm from Chicago originally,
Oh, okay.
so we were on there.
So it's
and
kind of the connection, if you will.
yeah.
Okay.
And
You're born and raised in Chicago?
yeah, you didn't know that?
I'll make you feel at home. Left pocket.
Well, that's what I'd be doing if I wasn't hanging out with you,
Vito,
Ron.
what city did you grow up in Chicago?
So I'm from the Northwest Side. Originally born in Arlington Heights, which is about 20 miles north of Chicago, but I lived in Chicago from full time from 16 until honestly just a year ago. I made the full transition out to the West Coast.
But you were out here all the time.
I've been out here. I've been out in LA for about 10 years, but I never. My trick to staying normal is never spending more than 2 straight weeks in Hollywood.
Okay.
So I'd always go back to Chicago.
Whoa. Did your brain turn into marshmallow?
It's
What
too much
happened?
sunshine. You end up playing the harmonica on podcasts.
Like that's a bad thing. I play the piano, but I couldn't fit it in my pocket.
So actually, you have to
I
see
play
Ron.
violin too, actually.
You have to see Ron play the piano. It's amazing.
You ever see
he plays symphonies.
You ever
It's-
see the Kid Rock video? I could play classical on this. You know Kid Rock?
Oh yeah, I know Kid.
The song "I Want to Be a Cowboy." Baby.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm the guy on the piano. I got black on my teeth, and I'm playing a bumpkin, and I'm playing on the piano.
How was that
I played
experience?
the violin with a band in Ireland, which was a Celtic band, and I played with them.
Okay.
So I played 3 good instruments: violin, harmonica, and piano. And I've had major rock stars like CC DeVille from Poison, who says Ron's half is better than half of us. You know.
Well, Ron, we know you're an icon, so I mean, this doesn't surprise me. But how was it being on a Kid Rock set and video?
It was nice. A lot of gorgeous girls.
Yeah.
I did 2 videos for him. One was on the piano.
Okay.
The other one was me saluting the flag, an American badass.
Oh, nice. Okay.
You know what nobody knows? I have 2 world's records.
If nobody knows it, then I don't know. So
That's very logical.
Yeah.
I have 2 world's records. Most adult movies at 3,600. I wouldn't say the most mainstream films. I got maybe 100, 200 mainstream.
Okay.
But this one no one knows. I have the most music videos of anybody else as a performer.
you're
Not
kidding.
necessarily
Music video
the same.
cameos.
Yeah.
Incredible.
I've done 56 music videos.
Probably can't even remember them all at 56.
No, but some
I mean,
of them,
that's
like, I remember that were really big, like the LMFAO.
Okay.
Sexy and I Know It.
Oh, yeah.
I'm in the 3 spots. Armin van Buuren. This is what it feels like.
oh yeah.
Shot at the Baghdad Cafe. Sublime was a huge one. Remember Sublime?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the
did-
Sublime one is good. Tell them the 2 roles you play in that Sublime.
Yeah, it was called. It was a crazy video called Date Rape. It's nuts. But this is the lyrics like, "We can't take pity on men of his kind. Now he takes it in the behind." So I play the judge who goes like
Okay.
this. Then the actor was late getting there, so I took the place also of the guy in jail who puts his arm around him, and now that's his pain for the rest of his life. You know.
So okay, so you've had this incredible career, right? You've been a waiter, you've been a ski instructor,
Sold ice cream in Cunningham Park.
okay, stage,
Catskill Mountains.
stage, theater, adult films, regular films, music videos, stand-up comedy. Of all of these things, of all of these expressions of your artistic abilities, which one did you enjoy the most?
Comedy acting.
Okay,
Taking a sitcom and making it a little better. There's
And-
some films
and-
out there. No, there's some cult films out there, and the recognition from those are just great. Like Orgasmo.
okay.
Those who
Oh
like
yeah,
South
I
Park.
remember that.
I had a
Sure.
major role in that.
Mm-hmm.
Or Detroit Rock City, the Kiss film.
I remember that. Yeah, I went and saw that.
Quentin Tarantino produced Killing Zoe, and Roger Avery directed it, and I'm in that one.
Okay.
And blown up through the bank wall.
Okay.
Anybody see that one? That's where a girl.
What's that other big
bank,
movie?
It's about a bank robbery.
What's
They
the
shot
one
it
you're in?
France.
It's not Reservoir Dogs, but you're in another cult
Yeah,
classic.
and this one
like
is
that.
really popular. Boondock Saints.
Boondock Saints.
Oh, Boondock
Yeah.
Saints, sure.
I played Vincenzo.
Okay.
It's close.
It's not, yeah.
And my role is tell me a joke. Come on, tell me a joke.
And so you enjoyed
Funny man,
those kind of
funny
roles
man,
the
yeah.
most?
Well, it's unlike me to be a nasty guy who's gonna beat somebody up and talking like this a little bit.
Okay.
Then I got drilled at a peep show booth. The director Troy Duffy did an amazing job. It's a great.
Did
film.
you-
It is a cult film. That thing does amazing business.
What kind of?
Boondock Saints, biggest thing I ever did, by the way.
Well, that's a
Of all-
huge
of,
movie.
Of all the audience, that's the largest audience I ever had. Was
Boondock Saints.
yeah.
Okay.
Not to be
Well,
confused with
Orga-
Ron's
it's
girlfriends.
Second only to Orgasmo, I would think.
No, actually, Boondock Saints is huge. When I travel around the world, I'm signing at least 20 of those a day.
Wow.
CDs, a day of Boondock Saints.
Okay, so
And
what's
look
that?
at the success now of Norman Reedus.
Oh
Now that
yeah.
he's on that TV show.
Isn't that incredible?
Walking Dead.
Right.
He gave Boondock Saints another revival.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, very
now
true.
So it's doing really well.
You could be on The Walking Dead. I could be on The Walking Dead.
We should.
We should get Vito
Well,
on there. Though.
4 a.m.
What
You find Ron Jeremy at the Rainbow
Vito.
Room. That's the sequel to the Walking Dead.
Vito could be walking around with like his Murakami shirt.
Oh,
on,
you got
know,
good taste. You got
Pulling,
good taste.
yeah.
pulling spiders off the trees and eating them.
Right, right. Yeah, that would be interesting. And then you could be like running around behind him, I don't know, trying to knock him over or something. Like that story you
That's
started
terrible.
off
That's
with.
terrible.
But okay, so the acting portion of that, where you're doing a different type of acting, so like you did in Boondock Saints. Okay, so what's that like preparing for that? Is that really
any
a
actor does.
different process for you?
No, it's funny. I'm going to brag for a second. I
Okay.
never do that. I never brag.
Yeah, Ron's very modest.
I worked on Tony Scott's film called Domino.
Okay.
But it's about the bounty hunter. If you look at the movie, you see I run through the desert, and they give me a nice credit, special thanks, Ron Jeremy. But my part got cut. But the thing is, Mickey Rourke had me stay on an extra day and be like his acting coach.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, Mickey has a lot of actors have said that they think I'm good.
Yeah.
When a major star says that, that.
Well, you're definitely able to shift around in your mind. I mean, I can see that just from talking to you a little bit here.
Well, Mickey Rourke had me stay. I actually read his spot. He read mine because he wanted somebody to do that with him. So I stayed overnight. He asked the director, Tony Scott, "Can Ron stay overnight? Because I want to work with him." Yeah. So I would, make sure he knew different ways of playing the role. And
Yeah.
I said, "I'm coaching Mickey Rourke. This has got to be too good." And there's a picture in my autobiography of me and him that day in the trailer, his trailer, pointing to our schlongs. Because he always says he's bigger than I am.
I knew we were going to get there at some point in this.
It always finds you.
Here
It always
we go.
finds you.
I killed the whole classical acting thing. Now we're discussing dicks again. No, but he would joke about that a lot.
Yeah.
He's packing okay. I saw it accidentally.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I went like this. No, I didn't.
Well, you got to check it out. I got to see. Check out the competition.
He's funny. Well, him, Keira Knightley, and I forgot the other guy's name that were the 3 stars of Domino.
Yeah.
And it was I actually had a really good part, but they cut it.
Well, it sounds like so.
Happens a lot.
I mean, I know Vito. He likes L.A. so much that he moved out here, right, from Chicago. Now, I don't blame you. I grew up in St. Louis, Missouri, which is only about 5 hours.
Florissant Park.
Well, Florissant, Missouri.
Blueberry Hill.
Yeah, Blueberry. Well, Chuck Berry played there until almost
Yes, he
his
did. I
last
saw him
days.
there. I got to meet
Yeah.
him and his daughter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I love.
Yeah,
St.
Blueberry Hill is well, St.
It's
Louis.
in St. Louis, yeah.
St. Louis is a great town for jazz and of course early rock and roll and it's
And golden arches like McDonald's.
yeah exactly. But it's 5 hours down the road from Chicago. The weather is equally as shitty as Chicago, so I can see why you come out here. I think us Midwest boys, we come out here and we're like, wait, where's the humidity, right? I
And
mean,
you're already paying the tax. Well, if you're in Chicago, you're already paying the taxes anyway. So you
Right.
come out here and it's like exactly the same.
you might as well pay the weather
Yeah,
tax and actually
exactly.
get the nice weather, right?
Yeah, and the nice ladies, right, Ron?
Yeah, but it's funny is that California is changing. They honk now. They're being more like New York, and all my friends are noticing it.
Well, the traffic
I don't know
is
what
so
is going
heavy.
on. Like it used to be like California was like, well, just kicking back, mellow, gonna cook some.
Well, I don't know if you can
barbecue.
tell, Ron, but I work
Now
out
it's-
now.
now it's-
And,
You've been working out, Mike.
yeah, I've been
Congratulations,
working
bro.
out, and so
I work out in the gym.
Well, yesterday I drove from this beautiful house
In
here
the buffet,
in
I meant.
Hollywood
I-
Hills. I drove down to the Planet Fitness, and it was about 4 miles from here.
Okay.
It took me 32 minutes to get there. It was 4 miles.
Well, like they say, everything in LA is an hour from, or LA is an hour from LA, right? So
I
Yeah.
find New Yorkers is not that fast moving either.
But you can get
It just
around in
goes
New
up and
York. They have some problem here with synchronizing lights or something. I mean, in New York, you can drive all the way across the island. and
Here's
never
New York.
stop.
Here's New York. See?
Yeah,
Here's New York.
Yeah.
Here's Los Angeles.
right. It's just it's barfed all
It's
over
all.
the table, yeah.
If you have an interview for an acting job, it could be Westwood, downtown. It could be the Valley.
Yeah, how do you get around to do
Whereas
all
in
of
New
those?
York, all the auditions and all the acting work is right there in Manhattan.
Do you still do
So you
auditions?
can go a few blocks away.
You still do auditions, or they just
Once in a
call
while.
you up and say, "Hey, we want you
Generally, the managers say it's necessary, which I think is very sweet.
in." Okay.
A guy Dave Hurd was great. He was with Innovative Artists. He was with me on a hip pocket basis, they call it.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't a total sign, but he was getting me work. He got me a great role with Nash Bridges with Don Johnson. Anybody ever see that one where I witness a peep show? I witness a peeping tom.
Oh, okay.
And then there's a murder takes place, and me and Don.
Why would they
Johnson
pick you
did
to do the
Tom.
peeping tom, though?
Yeah,
It's weird.
Don Johnson had to fight a little to keep me in. And I think it was NBC wanted to cut me, and he says, "No, I want Ron in it." My
Yeah.
friend Adam Rifkin had a fight to keep me in The Chase with Charlie Sheen.
Hmm.
I had a couple lines as the cameraman. 20th Century Fox said, "No, Ron Jeremy." Adam said, "Yes, Ron Jeremy," and I was in the film.
Okay.
So it was the friends and people who stuck by me who helped me work. I mean,
yeah.
otherwise, because there was always a bit of an attitude. People think, from the world of adult,
Right.
Jaime Reeves, understood it.
It's been hard for a lot of actors and actresses in your former line of work to cross over into more mainstream work.
Exactly.
I think you transcend that in a way because, like I was talking
Because I got him
Vito.
as a friend.
Well, I mean, you're an iconic figure. I mean, Ron Jeremy is synonymous with the adult industry. I mean, you're an icon. And so it only makes sense that, you transcend those stereotypes, I think, of not wanting to have maybe an adult film actor in your mainstream movie. But
Well, the thing with Ron that you have to understand is, and I've only learned this hanging around him for the past couple of years while we were producing the documentary about him, and really Ron is more than an adult actor. He's really a hero to a lot of men.
yeah,
And I actually, it was amazing to me
Keep this part short.
to see people coming up to Ron, to see people
It's
coming
a
up to
hero
Ron.
sandwich.
Well, they're saying things to him like thank you for giving me hope, and thank you
Sure.
for
had a
thank you
great
for your
vacation.
service. Remember that
I
guy
get
came
that.
up to you and said thank you for your
Yes.
service.
It's when it's nice. What's really sweet is when they say, I'm on vacation. I'm going to Hollywood. I'm going to Beverly Hills, Westwood. I did not meet one goddamn celebrity. And then they run into me. And it's like, well, it's kind of like a celebrity. And they say, well, and they actually get a kick out of it.
Yeah.
And those buses will stop. If I'm like, pumping gas or whatever, and those tour buses come
Oh,
by,
sure.
meet celebrities.
Yeah.
That driver's going to stop, put it in park, and spend some time with me.
Now, do you go over and talk to the
Because
folks on the bus?
See, I do.
Oh, that's nice.
Because their vacation is maybe enhanced because of it,
Yeah.
Speaking of Chicago.
So you're an ambassador of LA.
In a way, I am, but
Okay.
LA would never agree to that.
Okay, fair enough.
I
Okay, speaking of Chicago, I'm sorry.
I host a show. And this is my 39th year. I do a bunch of shows that I host. I do the Fantasy Fest in
Okay.
Key West,
Yes.
Florida. I'm looking at the 30,000 kids, kind of like at the Grand Marshal on a carpet, on floating carpets and floats.
Wow.
And then I do the Night Moves Award show,
Okay.
And then I do, this one isn't my favorite, it's my favorite. My 39th year, is that crazy? And Mancow helped me start this show.
Incredible.
It's the Miss Nude North America,
Miss Nude North America.
also or called Nudes a Poppin'. I took this show.
I didn't catch that on ABC
Nudes
or
Pop-
NBC.
How is that show,
but
Ron?
I
Is it-
took this show. You got 100 naked women competing. And
It's starting off good.
and-
Okay.
Yeah,
And
I like
they
it
have
better than the
guys,
gay
they have
pride
25
parade. No offense
guys
to anybody.
competing. Tommy Lee had booked the show. I was going to bring Pam Anderson with him. They
Okay.
had some problems, so they canceled. But I've had Kid Rock, Gene Simmons, John Davis from Korn, Nelson Twins, Gilbert Godfrey, Grandpa Munster. They all
Okay.
I've had different Lemmy a couple times from Motorhead, and it's a great show, and I take pride in building it from where it was like 100 audience members and 10 girls competing, to about 80 women competing, 25 guys competing, and an audience of 6,000 people.
Incredible.
Right in
Yeah.
Rose Lawn, Indiana, which is an hour and 20 minutes out of Chicago.
Oh, okay.
We do a show. It's always the third Sunday in July. So anybody, seeing this,
Well, that sounds
you're
like fun.
invited.
Vito, have you attended?
I can't say that I actually have, although I do believe
knows
that
about
that was
it.
the event that they were trying to promote on Mancow that got me and Ron.
I
mixed
think
up.
I know what Vito and I are doing in the third week of July this next year.
Yeah, do you guys need any extra
Yeah.
judges,
And
Ron?
bring your
Yeah.
wife, bring your girlfriend, because they love the show too. There's guys who are competing. It's a
Well,
great
now you're
show.
losing us, Ron. You're losing us.
Yeah.
You're losing
I mean,
us.
come on. I thought you were trying
Just
to sell
show
me
me
on
a
this.
car.
Look,
Girls like
look, he's
cars.
been in Hollywood
Girls
for a
like
couple
cars.
weeks, not a couple years. All right, like,
Listen, most girls like a car like that than dick. I'm telling you, you're doing.
yeah, that's all right. I know my way around.
All right, Vito and I are coming for sure. We're going.
You should. It's a great.
Yeah,
great
can you get us free
It
tickets,
goes on-
Ron?
Yeah, of course. 6 hours. It starts on 10 and goes on till afternoon.
Yeah.
And the day before, they have a thing where the fans will meet the girls.
And you do this in all places. You hold this in Indiana.
Roselawn, an hour out of Merrillville, about an hour and a half out of Gary, Indiana.
Okay.
And it's about an hour and 20 minutes out of Chicago.
Okay.
And Mancow used to promote the Living Daylight side of it for years. Then he got married, he had to stop. I was at his wedding,
Okay.
I heard you hit on his wife or something.
He
Was
makes
that
this
you?
joke all the time. I say, well, look who's talking. Your punch bowl flushes.
Mike, you know Mancow, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Very fast talking.
Mm-hmm.
He very, very fast. You have to follow him. And he's very topical of current news. And
Okay, so backing this up
and
a little bit
conservative.
too.
He became conservative.
Oh yeah. Okay. So Los Angeles, the city of Los Angeles. So you've been here a while. Yeah.
Yes.
Decades.
Well, I've been in LA probably. I was there. I was going back and forth for quite a while. I was literally bi-coastal. When
Okay.
people would say to me, "Are you bi?" Yes, I'm bi. Bi-coastal, bilateral, bilingual, by myself occasionally. That's as bi as I ever got. As far as having
I like
some-
the bi myself
As far as some of
there.
the schmeckle in my face, that's not the bi. The other bi I do. So I was going bi-coastal for about 5 years,
Okay.
and then I kind of settled into California.
Yeah.
So I'd say I've been in LA 30 years.
And how do you? Well, obviously you like it if you've been here 30 years. Yeah.
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 I mean,
New
what's
York-
your
New York-
favorite parts
I
of
love
LA?
New York,
For-
but New York just isn't friendly sometimes.
yeah.
New York is a great city, but
But it is a great city. The weather
but it's
again
just-
is
but
a
the
little,
people- but
you know.
But you come back to New York and it's just mean. And I don't know why California wants to do that too. I mean, you think I'm wrong? Try this little experiment. You know, be in front of a car,
Okay.
and the light changes. Count how long it takes before they're yelling at you. Literally, it could be not even a second. Light change. Hey, come on! I mean, I said, why did California suddenly become New York? Robin Williams had a good one. He'd say, New York Echo, hello, shut the fuck up. Or getting directions in New York.
Yeah.
Excuse me, can you tell me how to get to the Statue of Liberty, or should I just go fuck myself? And that's New York.
Yeah.
Now California's catching up.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, me and him have noticed it. It's like,
Well, what parts of
what happened?
What about LA do you love? What do you love about being here? I mean, the weather is fantastic, obviously.
The clubs, the women, the nightclubs.
Yeah.
New York's got a more kind of like sometimes like I was at Studio 54. I'm
Okay.
actually in the movie with Mike Myers and Salma Hayek.
Okay.
You know, I worked on that. I had a very funny line in the coat room, and as I was there, but
Yeah.
New York always had this kind of an attitude, which is not always nice.
Oh, right.
You know, like they say, you get out, you sorry.
So you like the nightlife scene here?
you got to know what you're doing in New
Yeah,
York.
yeah.
It's mean.
So the nightlife scene here
Much
is-
friendlier.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And the clubs just
And
have
the
a
beaches, of course, I like.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah.
And you can bike ride for many hours that you like on the boardwalk at Santa Monica.
When's the last time you rode a bike, Ron?
2 weeks ago, you little cocksucking
Really?
bastard.
And there's the ban button again.
That's from Brooklyn. He is from Brooklyn, so that's the New York.
No, you can do that. We're-
No. I just cursed at a guy named Vito.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
man.
all right. And
might
Mike
not
Bowling
make
gets
it
the
back
last
onto the
interview
car.
ever with Ron Jeremy.
Vito. I just love that name.
Vito, yeah. We're
I'm
gonna take care
I'm
of
gonna
that
have every
thing.
guy in the crew say name at least once, just to fuck with you.
Yeah, you could do a little audition that way, Ron.
All right, so you do love LA, though. I mean, the weather's great.
And I love New York also. The
Yeah.
opera. There's more theater in New York.
Now you have family here
Off
or there?
Broadway, but they have some theater here too. I mean, but
Family.
culturally, I think New York has got it, but
Uh-huh.
it's just too unfriendly sometimes. It's just really just mean.
Yeah.
You know, you get in a cab and you go, "I'm back." Like they get mad at me every time I arrive in New York because my family and I are born and raised near LaGuardia Airport.
Okay.
We were born in Bayside, Queens, and Dad moved to Flushing. You know, and then so meanwhile, you know, the cabs get mad at me that they're not getting a fare into Manhattan. You know, they'll really yell at me. Excuse me, that my dad should buy a house near where you want to.
so we can run the cab fare
time,
up? Yeah.
every time they like I have to take a cab to Queens.
Yeah.
and it's only a few miles away. So I said, "Won't the dispatcher give you another go at it?" He goes, "Maybe. Let me ask him." They get mad at me that he took me. Oh God, I got you. God damn
Maybe you
it.
need to just start doing the Uber.
No, I definitely should. And they get mad at you.
I think the problem that people have with Ubers is that they talk too much.
Show him your phone, Ron, and show him why you don't have Uber.
Did you get banned from Uber?
No, it's actually kind of funny.
One of my favorite things, actually, I'm implementing this into my future. It's like
Okay.
part of my goals is to switch to a phone
Oh,
like
Ron, this is interesting. Is that the jitterbug?
Once a month, I get a caveman to my house.
Uh-huh.
He wants his phone back.
Wow.
Well, the great thing is Ron bought this phone in 1980 and he still hasn't had to recharge it.
That's awesome.
I'm afraid
Yeah.
to break it because there'll be no parts to fix it.
Well, that way they can identify if they find you on the side of the street or something.
No one has a flip phone anymore. Nobody.
The funniest
actually,
thing,
the flip
though,
phone's a pretty cool phone.
the funniest thing is that
Well,
that
yeah,
was
I'll
the
tell you,
only
I
phone
get-
that worked up here.
But now we're figuring out why you don't have the Uber.
You know what's funny? Is that,
So you got the dumb phone. You don't have a smartphone.
well, I love to be alongside a bunch of people, and some of us drop. We lose our phone. It drops, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And you see everyone else's phone, crinkle, 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 lines running through it, the glass is busted.
Sure.
Me, I'm just sitting there. We're like,
My flip phone works great.
who's your daddy now?
I love it. That's great. Okay, so you guys are hanging out, hitting the clubs together and stuff. You and
We
Vito.
have.
Yeah.
We've had some good times, huh, Ron?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember that spot on Monday nights we used to hit up? What was that, Bronson?
What's
Bronson Bar?
that place called?
Bronson Bar, I think.
Bronson Bar. Yeah.
You used to go there after your comedy show, and the ladies.
Oh
like-
yeah. So let's talk
Yeah.
about that, please. You're doing like
By the
regular.
way, real briefly, you were saying about my dad moved to Flushing.
Yes.
My dad is 101 years old.
Oh, that's fantastic.
He's 101. Isn't that great?
That is really great.
Yeah, I hope I get his longevity, not my mom's. I
And
want
yeah,
that
he's
one.
actually the thing
Well,
about Ron's dad. He's actually been with 3,700 women, but none of it on film, so it runs in the family.
No, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you a conversation that did happen. I was very good friends with Dennis Hoff. He was the owner of the Bunny Ranch.
Okay.
CNN reported that I discovered the body, which I did. Now, I never had a medical background, never had an army background, so being next to a dead body was pretty spooky, you know.
Yeah.
But Dennis meets my dad. You know, my two daddies at the same time. Daddy
Right.
D meets Daddy Arnold. You know.
Sure.
It was great, the meeting of those two. So Dennis goes, Mr. Hyatt, got to come up to the Bunny Ranch. Come on, there's all these girls there, have a lot of fun, live a little.
Yeah.
And my dad goes, I can't be with other women and make my girlfriend jealous. And Dennis is going, say that again, and make my girlfriend jealous. I can't be with another woman. And you're how old? He goes, you're close to 100 at that time. And he goes, I'll tell you what I'll do. She's 80 years old. He goes, yes. How about I give you 4 girls who are 20 each? Same thing.
It all adds up to me. I don't know. What about you, Vito?
I like it.
It
Well,
sounds like it adds
I'm not
up.
Jewish, but Ron does the math between the two of us. so.
Okay. So, all right. You're doing stand-up here in L.A. Where are you
Not so
doing
much
that?
here, Sal's. I do Sal's. a bit.
Sal's. Okay.
It's on Melrose and Fuller.
Okay.
Melrose and Fuller. And I also do occasionally the in Pasadena.
Okay.
The Ice House.
The Ice House in Pasadena once in a while.
Yeah.
But most of the good gigs are usually outside the city. You'll find out that people appreciate the humor a little more when it's not. A lot of comics say this when people are too used to seeing comedians,
Oh, yeah.
and it's often the same ones, and often it's the same material.
So, but you like performing? I mean,
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
My favorite performer, who actually I was very good friends with, was Sam Kinison.
Oh, yeah. Funny guy.
There's a great picture of you guys at the Rainbow Room, actually.
Oh yeah, we used to hang out together a lot.
Yeah. Very funny guy.
I used to make fun of him. He made one mistake. His biggest act was flawed, and people go, Ron, and his own brother Bill Kennison is saying, don't ever say that. I said he does this whole thing about the desert routine. Nothing's going to grow here. Move to where the food is. And his last line is, we have deserts in America. We just don't live in them, asshole. And I'm sitting and watching go, Palm Springs, Phoenix, Arizona, Las Vegas, Reno.
You're ruining the joke,
we
Ron.
live in desert.
Yeah,
So
Las Vegas.
yeah, so I don't. And so I used to tease Sam and say, your material is flawed. Shut up.
Yeah.
But Ron, you're killing it over on Mondays over there at Sales on Mondays on Melrose. It's been a full house.
Sal's on Melrose, and you're there most Monday nights?
No, but a lot of them.
A lot of them.
Dante and
I'm sure they have
Rebecca.
a website people could find if they go to the internet, right? They could
You should, Ron.
Yeah,
look it up. Don't use Ron's phone to find it, though. That's going to be a little rough.
Well, Ron is also his own webmaster,
little
so
rough.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of iconic, of course, Marilyn Monroe is iconic.
Yes.
There's a girl with us right now today who is the most close lookalike I've ever seen. She's a brunette now, so you couldn't tell, but she could sing like her, talk like her.
Oh, that's phenomenal. Yeah, I saw you walk in with this beautiful lady. So
I'm gonna back him up because right now she doesn't look anything like Marilyn. But when I met her originally, she looked exactly like Marilyn Monroe,
Okay.
and she sings like Marilyn.
now, is this your
So-
lady friend, Ron, that you're with
she's a
tonight? or-
good buddy.
Okay.
And she also does like a cat. We do this cat routine.
Okay.
A cat that's purrs a certain way. It's funny.
Yeah. So
We don't
okay,
want her to
so
sing
you're
alone.
doing the Melrose thing. Tell us who is your favorite comic that's still performing today.
Well, Sam Kinison, but he died.
You're right.
I like the old classics: George Carlin, Robert
Okay.
Klein, Jerry Seinfeld. In fact, Jerry Seinfeld was my MC.
Oh,
When I
really?
first started doing comedy in New York, I was at the Comic Strip.
I was gonna say he is a New
Comic
York
strip.
comic if there was ever a New
Comic
York
Strip was
comic.
we
right?
did one of the same jokes. He actually did the same joke, and we joked about it. And he said, "Ron, I had that first." Where impersonation of Rockefeller Center.
Okay.
You go like this, like that statue that's down there. But I squirt water out of my mouth in 3 spots.
Yeah.
I made a fountain out of it. He didn't.
Oh,
I
that's
said, "You didn't make a fountain out of it," because I saw him at a restaurant. And he made a comment. We're doing the same line. Yeah, but
Yeah.
I made water come out of my teeth. You didn't. But anyway, so like he's great.
Yeah.
And he emceed me when I was in New York, and I opened up for Dice Clay.
Oh yeah.
And
Well,
he
Dice is fantastic.
Dice told a lot of people that. He was at the Rainbow till late at night talking to a couple of guys, and he said, he goes, "There's Ron. Ron opened up for me at the Fireside Restaurant And also Joe Franklin. Remember Joe Franklin?
I don't know Franklin. No.
He was a big talk show host in New York.
Okay.
And he had Dice on, he had me on, and he had, I went on first.
Okay.
And then at a Good Times nightclub, I opened
How
up
does
for him.
Dice do TV though?
But
I
Dice brags about it, which is so sweet of him. He going, Ron opened up for me, and he makes a big joke about it,
Yeah.
So that's great. And,
Well, he's a great comic. I mean, his timing's impeccable. His character.
I'll give you a little inside information.
And he had a reality show recently.
Yes, but I'll give you a little bit of real. You may not know.
Okay.
But Sam and Dice, it was funny because the Stallone and Schwarzenegger were over in Europe at the Cannes Festival, and Stallone said to me, "What fell? Oh, I dropped the name. I'm a name dropper right over there. See? Oh, okay." He said to me that him and Schwarzenegger really don't get along. It's not just an act. He goes kind of like because this is Stallone telling me at Cannes, France. He told me that the big guy grabs me. What am I going to do? I'm not really crazy about him.
Yeah.
And then Dice Clay and Sam Kinison, we didn't like each other either. People thought it was an act. It wasn't. I know the story behind it, but Sam and Dice were not friends.
Oh, okay.
But Dice Sam went to him at the Rainbow and offered we should tour together. Everyone knows we don't like each other. Let's tour together. I'll let you open up or close the show. You take your pick.
Sure.
Dice thought about it and decided against it. I think. But it was and then Dice wrote a beautiful letter and said, well, after Sam died, he said, while we never really got along as friends, I respected his talent.
Yeah.
A well-written letter Dice did.
Yeah. Well, it's such I really admire comics because it's another level of theater and entertainment.
You gotta be funny.
But they're just so witty. It's timing. It's being funny. It's
If
remembering
tragedy
the
happens,
line. Yeah.
and if a bad thing happens and you get a death in the family, you got to jump on that stage and be damn funny.
Right.
Yeah. I'm sorry, folks. My so-and-so, my father-in-law died, so my act's going to be a little bit.
Yeah.
You can't do that. You don't have that
that.
leeway.
Yeah. But yeah, I really admire guys that do that. I mean, it's an impressive
ever?
craft. No, I've never tried it. Maybe I should. I don't know. But I'm very impressed by them, and I think it's fantastic that you've been doing that. And Vito speaks really highly of your routines. So
I did it in the Catskills again, way back.
Right.
And then I stopped doing it for quite a while, and then a guy named Charlie Fry brought me back into it at the Sahara Hotel.
Oh, the
I was
Sahara
opening up-
Hotel.
That brought me back.
How fantastic.
And I was hosting the show and doing a little
Did
comedy.
you spend time in Vegas back when Vegas was Vegas? You weren't there a lot in the 70s?
I was never been there a lot. Never was a bit. Not much of a gambler.
Yeah.
And I like Vegas. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
But I didn't spend a tremendous amount of time there.
Okay.
I'd say it came in more later on.
Yeah.
When AVN and AFAA and all these
Sure.
Fox
The big
Awards,
conventions
Fan
and stuff,
Awards,
yeah.
Fox Fans Awards. Yeah, then I would be there for that.
Okay. You got a favorite spot in Vegas? Favorite steakhouse?
My buddy, Nines, it's called.
Oh, yeah.
He's a chef at the Palm. Mm-hmm. He's a great guy. And,
Yeah.
I like.
Yeah, the
his-
Palm. I was in.
In LA, I got some favorites. Spago's, I like Wolfgang, and
Yeah.
a Palm, and of course the Rainbow Bar and Grill. Same chef, 40 years at the Rainbow.
There's a place in Vegas. There's a steakhouse. I always tell folks this. I guess, and I wasn't alive during this period, but way back before they started having restaurants in the casinos, they would have to comp meals still, right? And so they'd send them to this restaurant, this steakhouse called the Golden Steer. It's still in Vegas, and it is a fantastic place. I mean, it's really great.
Do we have time?
Yeah, who's
Hey,
gonna
it's
jet?
only a 3-hour drive, But the Golden Steer is a great steakhouse there. Where do you stay when you're in Vegas? What's your favorite hotel?
That's easy. It's a Hard Rock Hotel.
Hard Rock. Okay,
And they're very good to me. And the Mandalay Bay is good.
Mandalay's
and
nice,
they have
yeah.
a topless pool.
They do.
They had another.
Yeah.
I think another one tried to Mandalay Bay. Someone else tried to do the topless pool, but
Well, it's a topless
It's much
pool,
more successful.
but it also has a casino there. You swim up gaming and stuff.
Moray,
I got bad news for you, Ron.
Yeah.
Club Moray.
That's
got
a cool
some-
spot.
I got some sad news for you though. The Hard Rock just sold to Virgin, and they're making.
I know all about it.
Yeah, they're making it.
I
the
worked
Virgin.
for him.
Richard Branson?
Oh, no kidding.
I want to say hi to him because we had a really nice rapport.
Yeah.
There's a picture in my autobiography of me and Richard Branson arm in arm. They hired me to do a thing called Dial-A-Dis, where you tell someone it's a phone app for the Virginia. Well,
Okay.
you don't want to see the person, so the voice comes on. "Hi, this is Ron Jeremy. Look, she doesn't want to go out with you. I apologize."
Oh my goodness.
However, which is
The
kind
fake
of
This
number.
is like the
Which is kind of
precursor to
what Ron-
Cameo.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, wow.
So
wow.
he was having a
I'm telling
party.
you, that's why Ron's an
phone
icon.
disc.
That's why
Now
Ron's an
I
icon.
get
He's
it.
done
The
it all.
phone disc.
Richard
Yeah.
Branson was.
This
having
is
a-
hilarious.
Richard
Good.
Branson was having a party,
Okay.
and they invited me to come down to it, and because they were launching this little thing, and it was
Yeah.
very exciting. So I said, and my first book came out, the soft cover, no, the hardcover. Because see, just like
Was it
nature-
hard or was it soft, Ron?
It was a soft cover first, then it became a hard cover.
Books and
We're trying to
books,
set these jokes up for you.
Books go from hardcover to go to hard to soft.
Yeah.
Kind of like when we get older, same thing. So my hardcover had come out, and the soft had not yet.
Okay.
So the soft cover features, which me and Richard Branson arm in arm. It's a great shot. They didn't use the shot of Vito falling to his knees and showing his appreciation.
There you go.
Okay.
I'm picking on
Why
the
are
guy
you
named
picking on Vito? I mean, what?
Because I'll be lucky to get past that stairs.
I know.
Ron's got a death wish tonight.
Yeah, I
It's
guess so,
all right.
man.
So,
Wait.
You guys are going to drive that Maserati off a cliff somewhere here on Mulholland Drive.
Wait,
or
wait.
something.
well, you know what
I
they
don't
say: the best place to bury a dead body is in the Hollywood Hills. Is there something like that?
I
isn't
hadn't
it?
heard that. I thought it'd be the Meadowlands. Isn't it? A rumor has it that.
All right, why don't you tell me, Ron?
Isn't
I can-
there a
you save me
rumor
the trip.
that what's that famous union leader Hoffa?
Jimmy Hoffa.
There's a
yeah.
rumor that Hoffa is buried in the Meadowlands.
Oh, really? Well, that could be.
Wait, so what was what they saying a minute ago?
Well, we were talking about Vegas, the Hard Rock.
Yeah. Oh, so Richard Branson was real sweet.
Yeah.
He goes, Ronnie, I was showing him my book, and he goes, I don't need to see pictures of naked women. I'm not showing you pictures of naked women, you putz. Look what I'm showing you.
You
It was me
putz.
hang gliding. No, it was
I
me.
haven't heard that since high school.
It was
That's
me hang
fantastic.
gliding.
Yeah.
I was showing him pictures of me because I knew that he'd appreciate.
Oh, that's right.
He's an
You were
adventurer.
telling us that you're
So
hand.
then
Are you still hand gliding
my
today?
book, it's been a couple of years.
Yeah.
But I
You
said
should take
no.
Vito with you next time you go. hand
I
gliding.
would, and I said
Yeah.
to Branson, no.
I'd like to see you guys on a little tandem hand
But
glider.
I said to him, I'm not showing you pictures of women. That's not gonna. Oh, look, here's a blonde. I'm showing you pictures of
Here's
this.
a blonde.
So I showed it to him, and he goes, "Oh, you've done this."
Yeah.
The hang gliding pictures, and I got a kick out of that. Now he's running the Hard Rock. They say he's going to keep the show this year. I'm not sure if he's going to keep the show again next year. The
Okay.
show, but he's doing it
Well,
this year.
I know that Vito and I are coming to.
The AVN show.
I'm
That one
not
goes
sure.
on- Oh no, you want to come to the Miss Nude North America?
We're going to do the Miss New North America. I just because it's in Indiana and all.
You'd have to.
So-
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm always looking for a good excuse to
You will
go
have
to
to tell
Indiana.
Right. We've been trying to figure out a way to get to Indiana.
I'm just like,
for
I
a
cannot
long
wait
time.
to leave LA and just go to Indiana.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing.
Slash brought Perla. his
There
wife.
goes all of our listeners from Indiana.
Oh, it's all right.
Slash,
They know.
Slash was brought Perla, his wife. They did 2 shows, and we've had just a great turnout. I mean, Tommy Lee was going to bring Pam, but then he had a problem, so he couldn't.
You know,
But he
Tommy
was gonna
Lee's
bring
dating
her.
Brittany, or is he married to Brittany Furlan now? She's like the big Instagram star. He's not with.
Ron,
Pam.
are you on? Are you doing Instagram? You on Instagram?
Barely do anything. It's done. My managers do it.
Oh, okay.
Ron's crushing Instagram though.
Is he?
I'm
Yeah.
not-
Hey,
not-
Ron, you're doing great on Instagram.
Yeah. The management's doing good.
no,
Twitter,
here's the- here's the
Instagram,
doing great.
Facebook.
The big news, though, with Instagram is that they're taking away the likes.
What?
Yeah, exactly. So, Ron.
What?
Yeah.
Taking away the lights.
They're taking away the,
The
likes.
likes.
The likes. So, like, hey, Ron, that's a great picture. You look so pretty. Like, the girls, they press the button because, you're a handsome guy. And
I was a handsome guy.
And
Look at the pictures of my autobiography.
well, yeah, I mean, Vito and I were looking at this issue of Playgirl from '78, and boy, man, we were really excited.
Yeah, we really.
You don't swing
you had
that
the.
way. I say, I know which way you slant. Nothing wrong with being gay. Nothing wrong.
Nothing wrong. It's just
bi-coastal, bilingual, by myself.
right.
Ron, how come you never do gay porn? Should they offered you?
Because I couldn't get a boner. That's why. I see a hairy ass. I just want to shave it. I don't want to stick anything.
You're like, what happened to her?
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
I don't want to stick anything. I'll tell you what's funny. Speaking of that, because you don't know when you're in a certain environment, you just don't think. Like you're on a porn set, and then there's cameramen. Sometimes depends how big the budget is. The lighting, grip, makeup, chef.
Sure.
And the thing is, and you don't realize how something looks to other people. Like let's say it's a gang scene. It's 5, 6, 7 guys and 1 girl. Now she wants to go to the bathroom to freshen up or see the makeup artist.
Are there a lot of street
Yeah.
gangs in these kind of movies?
So she wants to fix up and look good. Then just she walks off the bed,
Okay.
and goes to the bedroom, goes to the makeup room or whatever.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, you got 5 or 6, 7 guys now alone on the bed with each other,
Naked.
naked and jerking it. And they'll be talking, having a conversation. Boy, the Mets this year, really, the season's not doing so good, you know. Like, and they are literally doing this because they want to keep hard. You don't want to let it go. Then the girl gets here and you got to fight to get. So and you realize how funny this is. Because someone may come in, let's say a UPS package or something.
Oh, yeah.
Or
He'd be like, what did I just walk into?
no, it's the funniest thing. It happens all the time. Some guy who's from the straight world, whether it be FedEx or something.
Yeah.
He didn't expect to see this. No, if you saw like 5 girls, 5 guys, it's more comfortable.
You can have a whole YouTube channel just on that.
Yeah, but the look on their faces. it's
Yeah,
like
the look on the face of the guy who accidentally
He sees
walks
5
in on
guys
that.
on a bed jerking their cocks and looking at each other.
That's
you know?
interesting.
And he's going,
Yeah.
"Hi guys, what do I put them? Whoa!"
Also known as 4 a.m. after hours in Hollywood if you end up at the wrong
Here's
party.
the look
So
on their face, and it's perfectly normal for us. It's perfectly natural.
Yeah.
I was jerking it before when the girl was here. I was saying, "Hey Bob, what's your SAT score? Oh, how's it going? How's the wife? The kid? Okay, good. I'm having a chat while we're going like this." And then when the guy walks in, who's from the real world,
Yeah.
okay, I gotta go. You know. Like we're gonna invite him.
Yep.
Why don't you come join us on the bed, you dickhead?
That's why Ron's not allowed to use Postmates anymore. Too many delivery guys walk in on that.
They're doing it on purpose. Order 3 or 4 meals
There are a
right
lot of-
at the
lot
perfect
of-
time.
There are a lot of funny things in porn that that.
Oh, I can only
In
imagine.
my act, I mentioned the fact that we don't do things like you do things. I tell the audience, you want to buy something and you think about how much money it costs. I don't do that. When I see a nice motorcycle, I think about what that's going to cost me is 140 vaginal scenes, 16 anal scenes, 2 blowjobs, and a dialogue day.
Wow.
Oh, look, fancy hubcaps. That's another blowjob. See, we think in terms of a product, not necessarily the money.
Yeah. It's an interesting way to do it.
Sure is.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Jenna Jameson had a fur coat, and these activists were yelling at her. You know how many animals had to die for that fur? You know how many guys she blew to get that film?
and
That
we're
far,
transitioning
that far.
into the whole stand-up routine. I don't want to ruin it for folks that are going to go to Sal's later. Okay, so Ron, I just want to say I really appreciate you being here with us. And
We're done? Just like that? Just write me off just like that?
oh, Ron, this evening's just
We
beginning.
got to know
this
each
is the
other.
recorded portion of the evening. Okay, we're just getting started.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. All right.
I could take
So,
you
Ron,
out.
if we're gonna
I
wrap
could
it up-
take you out with a...
Yeah, can you take
Yeah,
us out
take us
though
out.
with a harmonica maybe?
I'll do
Oh,
it
you know what?
up-tempo.
Let's
Saints
do
come
this
marching
though
in,
because
and
this
you
is
use it.
really important actually. If folks want to find you online, I'm sure you have a website.
Well,
So if you want to follow Ron on social media, I don't manage it for the record. But
Okay.
Dante
his
does.
his manager does a great job managing it. Connects with all
And
the
he
fans.
takes my things I really care about, so it's not like he's just taking something.
and
out.
well, it's mostly videos of you. He takes the videos of you and just posts them.
But is there like a
it's like- like if I see
ronjeremy.com? I'm sure there is.
One of my favorite ones is I went to meet Elton John backstage. True story.
Mm-hmm.
He starts to lick my entire face, and it was Ronnie. You have a guy's kissing your face. It's Elton John. He can do whatever he wants, And the funny thing is that after and people heard him say it, and this got onto the internet. So after he kisses me, he goes, "Now I can tell my friends I met you." I really took a dump right in my pants. But then, just a few days ago, actually no, about a week ago, I'm at Dan Tana's. Well, we might go later tonight. And Tanya Tucker was there. Very popular country singer. Everybody know Tanya Tucker? Mm-hmm. And she says, and this is all, no lies, she says, Ronnie, would you like to want to introduce me tomorrow? Yep, she's doing the Troubadour, which is right next to the Dan Tana's. I said, I'd be honored. I do that a lot. I introduce a lot of bands.
Sure.
I've introduced some of the biggest names. You know the Rolling Stones?
Heard of them.
Never introduced them. Everyone else I have. So Tanya, asked me to do this. So the next day comes along, and I please welcome. I introduced her, and then she's in the middle of the show. She says, "Ron, can you remove my leather jacket, please?" And this is a lady who dated Elvis. I'm going, this is too cool. So I took her jacket off, on stage at
Sure.
the Troubadour. Then I fucked her. Okay, I made that part up. But so I took off her jacket, and as she's walking away, she goes, love your work, Ron." And that made it to Hollywood Reporter and a lot of press.
Oh, that's
So
fantastic.
you never know. Like, I could just be sitting at Dan Tana's with Vito here.
Yeah.
And you never know, something could just happen.
Crazy things can happen.
Literally every time we go to Dantana's, actually, he ends up introducing a band at the Troubadour almost like
Oh, that's
consistently.
great.
So If you guys want to accidentally introduce a band at the Troubadour tonight,
There it is.
probably should have dinner at
I got
Dantano's.
started introducing a lot of bands, you know.
Yeah.
And again, people don't know that I've done
I'm gonna
56 music videos.
Yeah,
You'll
yeah,
find
yeah.
them.
That's what you're saying. The music
find
video
them.
thing's huge. Okay, so I'm gonna say that you've got a website. I'm sure it's like ronjeremy.com or
That's
something like
why
that.
I wouldn't go typing that into the
my
internet.
Twitter.
Yeah,
My Twitter,
and of course there is the Google, right?
My
So,
Twitter, my Twitter, the real Ron Jeremy.
yeah, and you know what? I want to say that I've had a few folks follow me over the past year or so,
And you're
and
doing very well. You're being shy right now.
yeah. Well,
If you
but
didn't have great ratings, we wouldn't be here.
yeah, and so, but Ron follows me on Twitter. I mean, I remember the day it happened. I still have the screen save and everything. It's
There you go, Ron. Why are you looking at me? I don't run your Twitter.
Yeah.
No, I'm glad that we're okay.
Yeah. And so, Ron, I mean,
I think it's a great idea if it's not being done already.
no, you already do. You follow me, Ron.
Great.
Yeah, we're connected on the Twitter. Okay.
So what's a nice romantic song for the harmonica? Let's see.
Yeah, there is. While you're thinking of that, I'm going to let Vito. Let me let Vito
He's
tell
a jolly
folks.
good fellow.
You gotta let Ron do his thing.
You know what's funny? One thing I left out. It's kind of interesting. As a nice honor, I got to face. I did 2.25 billion people at the same time on two. One video was called "Sexy and I Know It."
Oh yeah.
These guys performed at the Madonna at the Super Bowl. They were huge. Your dad is Berry Gordy. You know that.
Sure.
And the LMFAO had me doing 3 spots. I was jiggling and dancing. 250 million hits.
Wow.
Now, 2 weeks later, Kathy Griffin calls me on the phone to do a little dialogue on Anderson Cooper's show, which she does, every year or did for New Year's Eve.
Oh right, she was
So
on
I
that
came
New Year's
down,
Eve thing. Yeah.
I did. Hi, this is Ron Jeremy. Happy New Year. And I did that little thing there.
Nice.
And I was heard in front of about 250 million people.
That's very
so now
cool.
it's twice. I think it's kind of a nice honor to be in front of 250 million people.
Yeah, that is.
Most bands would be glad to have 1 million,
Right. Okay, so Vito does PR. You do personal promotion, and maybe just for like 30 seconds. Give us
Yeah.
a 30 second.
P-R-I-C-K.
Yeah.
So, the reason I'm hanging out with Ron, I just love telling people stories, right?
Right.
So, and that's why I love Hollywood, because you start out telling other people's stories, and then if you get good enough at it, other people tell your story. I think it's such a cool cycle. I think Hollywood's got such an amazing charm. I do publicity. I'm producing the Ron Jeremy documentary, Too Big for TV. If you guys want to follow that, check out Ron on social media, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.
It's new footage. 'Cause I
At
had
Real Ron
documentary
Jeremy.
before.
Yeah.
Yep.
Showtime ran one. It did real well. So these are new things that have happened in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's a cool story because Ron's other 2 documentaries, the first one is based, I think, on your book, right? Hardest Working Man in Show Business.
lot of it, yeah.
And it basically focuses entirely on your adult career, which is amazing and deserves a film of its own. And then Life After the Buffet was the second documentary, which came out about 5 years ago, I
A
think.
girl who works on Judge Judy.
Okay.
She produced it.
So they produced that, and that basically just talks a lot about
After the
your
accident,
medical accident,
and
right?
the aorta and stuff. Yeah.
So, Too Big for TV really tells the full story of Ron Jeremy. We tell the whole history growing up, things that the fans really want to know. Because when we talk to the fans, they really want to know, like, what's Ron's favorite color? Where's he like to eat? What's he do?
Yeah.
What's his turtle's name? And I think it's a really cool
I have
story.
a turtle named Cherry.
Cherry is the name of the turtle.
Jerry's the name of the
Cherry.
turtle. Well, now we're giving away all the good
reason
stuff
why
in
I
the
have
film.
a turtle is just in case I go through reptile dysfunction.
And how long have you owned the turtle? Because they live a long time.
I've had Cherry for 18 years. She lives to be 100.
Does Cherry sleep in the
She
bed
lives
with you
to
at
100.
night?
She'll be in the same room. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know why he
160. They get to be 100.
Wow.
A Russian
so you guys
tortoise.
have a lot of time together.
She'll be knowing my grandkids if I ever have.
Well, you know why she's named Cherry? Because she likes it on top. Isn't that what?
He never said that before. That's very funny. That's very funny.
You
I got
can
a
use
couple
that.
of
He's going to give that one to you.
You can
for
have
free.
that one, Ron.
Can you spell plagiarism?
Well, Ron said when he died, he's
stealing
leaving me his
that.
comedy act. So,
Okay, so
But,
you're working on a documentary
Yep,
right
we're telling
now.
the story. So we help all kinds of entrepreneurs, business people, public figures, brands tell their story using celebrities and the media,
Right.
basically as a platform to tell their story.
Yeah, you have some pretty incredible success stories in your
Yeah,
bag.
we've
and
done some
you've
crushers.
worked with some of the biggest names in show business and
Yep.
and here in
Yeah,
Los
I did
Angeles.
dialogue with him. People
Yeah,
don't-
and I even
people
took on
don't
Ron
know.
Jeremy.
Like
Yeah.
the actor who played the son of Spider-Man. What's his name? He's been in tons of movies.
Toby Maguire.
No, he played the son.
That's the
of,
last Spider-Man I remember too.
No,
was
no,
Tobey
Yeah.
Maguire.
Willem
so.
Dafoe played the Nemesis.
Oh, okay.
His son.
Okay.
Well, that's
You know,
kind of we're
everyone knows
reaching,
him.
Ron. What's up?
I forgot his name. No, you guys know who he is. He's a very popular actor.
Okay.
He got roasted. He played the son of Willem Dafoe.
Are you talking about James Franco?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
J-
Yeah.
no,
The Green
no, that
Goblin.
James Franco came to town, and then one of the first things he did was called Finishing the Game, which was a film that was directed by the guy, I think, who did one of the episodes of, so me and James worked a little dialogue together.
Mm.
The guy who was in Hangover, Galifianakis.
Oh, sure. Okay.
He did
Funny guy.
He did a film called Redfish Bluefish,
Mm-hmm.
and I was in there with him. The girl who was on Charlie Sheen's show a lot when he had the TV show.
The 2.5 Men.
Yeah, the beautiful girl. I forgot her name. I worked with her in another film also. So it's really fascinating. That or Josh Duhamel, right? You know who he is. I had an episode of the show Vegas.
Okay.
And I had a nice little dialogue scene. So it's funny because people don't know.
Yeah.
And it's when they say, "Is that Ron in that role?" I've done a lot of roles, a lot
Sure.
of acting.
Yeah.
Where people wouldn't expect.
Yeah.
Now you're doing the Mike Boland show.
Yeah. So how do Mindset Squared? And here you
Yeah.
are. Yeah. So how do folks find you, Vito, online if they want to help in blowing up their product or
yeah.
brand, whatever? I mean, you are the guy in LA to do that.
Totally. I appreciate you mentioning that. So you can find me online, VitoGlazers.com. Social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all at Vito Glazers. And if you want to check out the film and you want to check out the trailer, you can go to VitoGlazers.com/film or just follow Ron on social media. He's actually very engaged. His manager posts really great real updates of Ron 24/7.
Very cool.
It's a really cool way to connect with him, especially on Twitter. Follow Ron, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Real Ron Jeremy.